What up though, meerkat, and this video does not exist. Allow me to explain. I was streaming SMT IV, as I do, but as soon as I reviewed my VOD, I found out that this had happened. I was devastated. All that work put in, and no results at all. Or so I thought. You see, the footage is still good, so for this installment of the Persona Fanplay series, I thought, why don't I just try something different? We're gonna summarize what we went through while we were playing on Twitch, what we did, and my thought process behind all the decisions that I ended up making. So let's start. The gameplay session started with a lot of false starts, a lot of me going into the dungeon and then going out of the dungeon to rest in the barracks because I kept trying to get through each level without having to fight any demons, and as a result getting jumped from behind. Not really a good beginning to the whole playthrough, but I decided to persevere and I decided to kind of get over myself. So I make my way down to the second and the third stratums of Naraku, and no, I wasn't able to do it without any damage. I wasn't able to do it without getting into any fights. However, I was able to get down there. And as I was making my way down there, I ran into a battle in which I recruited Lamdirg. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But by the time I recruited Lamdirg, I had lost quite a bit of health. So I decided to go back to the barracks one more time, and this time we were gonna play serious. Before heading back into Naraku, I decided to try my hand at fusing some demons. Ended up with two, Asparis and Lady, both of which were fused from a demon that I had just picked up and a demon that was older, but who I hadn't run in a while. I was pretty satisfied with my choice, although Asparis is a pretty horny demon if the dialogue is any indication.
I'll never let you go.
Now, as I was, looking at the skills of these demons, I was starting to think Pele might be the MVP of my team. Not only do I already have Malcolm, who has a fire affinity, but I have Pele now, who's also a fire affinity, but who can also cure sicknesses and ailments. That might come in clutch later on down the line. So I make my way back into Naraku, and I'm making my way down to the second stratum. And as I'm fighting demons, Malcolm levels up and he wants to pass on his skills to me. I said no. We get to the third stratum, and that's when we run into the hooded man again. We initiate a little story cutscene and then a battle proceeds. We're fighting Wendigo. This battle doesn't seem that tough, but I make one fatal mistake and it comes back to bite me later on. I used Bufu on a demon with an ice affinity, giving him all he needed to wipe out half my team and put me in a disadvantageous position. Now, I managed to make it through the first phase of the fight, but what I don't realize is that there is an incoming second phase involving a horde of demons. I'm fucked. Jonathan and Isabel joined the squad, coming in clutch, but it's already too late. They can't compensate for the mistake that I made, so I end up losing. I got bodied in this second phase, and all I could think as I was watching my HP go down is, my god, I hope Karen isn't at the River Styx right now. I was wrong. So, after paying my dues and getting resurrected, I'm back at the dungeon. This time, I'm gonna make sure that I save so that I can just reload if I end up losing again. Then, we proceed forward, we initiate the cutscene again, and we start the battle all over. This time, I'm playing smart. I have two demons who have fire affinity. I'm hitting Wendigo with fire attacks, and when I get to Asparis, who has an ice affinity, I'm making sure to relegate myself to physical attacks. Mostly Dream Needle, which I know is actually a gun attack, but you know what I'm talking about. Playing with intentionality allows me to beat Wendigo in one turn. Now here comes the horde. I have all my demons on the team, they're all alive and well. Isabel and Jonathan are backing me up. We breeze through the second phase, and then a story cutscene starts. We find out that the man in the hood is not actually Navarre, but he is a samurai, and he was recruited by Navarre to try to get, kill us? To teach us our place. Navarre, you set me up, bro. I thought we were making headway in our relationship, but you decided that since I was a casualty and you were a luxurer, that I deserved to be harmed by demons. What a betrayal. We proceed further in the dungeon, and then a master samurai comes and says, hey, you might not want to go that way. We go that way. But before we enter this mysterious gate, I want to make sure that everyone is rested up. So we go to the barracks, and then we make our way back down. And much like the beginning, I'm trying to make it so that I don't have to initiate any battles. I failed, but it's okay. We don't take up that much MP, and we don't lose that much health. So by the time we make it to the gate down below, we're ready to go. We enter this mysterious wormhole, and we find ourselves in... Take it, Jonathan.
Oh, a domain.
A domain. Did Jujutsu Kaisen take the concept of domains from this game? Or did the concept of a domain exist far before this game? I don't know. I'm gonna have to research that. So we're making our way through this domain, and almost immediately we run into some weird shit. I don't fuck with this. So we keep going through the domain until we run into the little girl again, and then we meet Steven, who's in a weirdly technological chair for the type of world that this game takes place in, and the type of dungeon that this domain is. And for some reason, seeing Steven sitting in that chair made me think of Digital Devil's Story, the novella that kicked off this entire franchise. I'm not exactly sure why, I still can't really place it, but I did think of Digital Devil's Story when I saw him sitting in that chair. Steven offers to heal us for free. All we have to do is come to that room. And I feel like this is not the last time we're gonna see him in the story. But anyway, free heals. That's good for me because there's a boss battle coming up. I get a warning from Burrows that there's a strong demon past this door. But we just got healed by Steven, so I'm good to go. We walk through the door, and Navarre is right there. So the ruler of this domain, she wants to keep Navarre under her capture. She wants to drink his blood, and I'm inclined to give her what she wants, not only because Navarre has been a dick to me up to this point, but for some reason, she just emanates a energy that makes me want to trust her. I don't know what it is, it's weird. But for story reasons, we can't leave our comrade behind, so we have to fight this demon. But I'm very interested in her. Let's see if we can recruit her. Wow, that's discriminatory. Thanks. Luckily, she's a plant type, so I just pound her with fire attacks. And then I pound her, and then I pound her, and then I pound her. And she eventually dies. Barely does any damage to me. After this boss, Chagrin has leveled up, and he wants to pass on a skill to me. I say no. But Navarre is rescued, and he's still a dick.
You gave a fine account of yourself. For a casualty, I suppose?
Like, man, we just saved your life, and the first thing you mention is the fact that we're casualty? Come on. Come on, this classism is not good. It's not the move. But as the conversation progresses, it's becoming clear that Navarre has begun to lose his fucking mind. So, the story section is done. I decide to explore what's remaining of the third stratum. We get into another battle, and that battle was enough for Pele to level up, and one of her skills, she asks to evolve. Resist ice to stun needles, and I struggled with this one, but I eventually decided to get stun needles because it did medium physical damage, medium gun damage, but it's all the same. So I acquired the stun needle skill, and I also decided to buy another app, Skill Expansion 1, because I want to be able to hold more skills. That way, if one of my demons wants to pass a skill onto me, I don't have to keep denying them. We run into a block in our progression. 2 samurais stop us from progressing further in the dungeon, so it's time to make our way back upstairs. And as I'm making my way upstairs, I get into a couple of battles, and Stun Needle is immediately proving itself to be very useful. Now, we're back in the barracks. I decide to rest up for the night, and the next story sequence starts. Walter and Jonathan, they invite me out to breakfast. So, we leave it there until the next installment. What do I expect to happen in the next installment of this series? Well, I'm hoping we can deepen our relationships with Walter and Jonathan. You know, story-wise, I know it's not a gameplay mechanic per se. I'm hoping to see a little bit of opening up from Isabeau, and I'm hoping we can at least explore the 4th and 5th stratums to see what those have to offer us. I'm looking to understand what is the world-changing cataclysm that is going to set off the rest of this plot. Because right now, we're still in the beginning. We're still building the foundation. Everything's going to have to come to a head. There needs to be an inciting incident that pushes us from a samurai in training story arc to a save the world story arc. So I'm wondering when that's gonna come to fruition. I'm about 5 hours into the game thus far. Hopefully it's soon. I don't know. So yeah, that's the end of the video. A video that wouldn't have come to fruition if I hadn't streamed for an hour and a half with no audio. You can help resolve that issue early on by following me on Twitch, MEERKVT. Link is in the description down below. Leave a comment down below also to let me know what you thought of this video. I do want to do more essay type content in the near future. With that being said, I'm out.